Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Robert Kokanese, and this is a video about grading in the Biology 141 for 2024 sections. Let's take a quick look what this grading involves. Obviously, this is supreme important for all of you. Totally understand it, but it is a little more complicated than in some other classes. So I hope clear up a lot of confusion. If you have any questions, please send me a message or ask me in person. There's plenty of time in this class to figure everything out. So everybody, each of you, will have a clear idea of how this grading is going to happen. So we're going to go into the syllabus. It is written out to a good detail there, and that's a good document to look at while I'm explaining the grading. So let me start the screen share and we'll go from there. So here we are inside your class shell, and here is this course syllabus. Let's open this up. And here is the course outline portion of it. Let's scroll down here, and somewhere down here it says detailed description of grading. We'll see if I can magnify this a little bit. Maybe this helps. Excuse me. So a part of the complicated grading comes from these first three outline terms here. You will be earning grades that counts towards a lecture grade. In some other parts of the class, you'll be earning points that count towards your lab grade. And these two, lecture and lab grade, are weighted, combined together to give you the overall grade. These three headings should be starting your grade book when you open it up, and there should be nothing in there. If you see anything out of kilter, please let me know. This is my fourth semester with Blackboard Ultra, and the only thing I learned is that unexpected surprises can show up in the grade book. So let me know if anything is unusual, out of kilter. So importance of the overall grade. This is used to calculate your transcript grade that will go on your transcript record. Lecture grades and lab grades will not appear on your transcript grade, but this one will. So in terms of percentages, this overall grade, I'm going to skip down here, can fall between 93 and 100%. And in that case, you will receive an A transcript grade. And you can see the numbers, the brackets for B, C, D, and F. Most students in my classes aim at least for a C grade because that allows you to continue your professional training courses. So this is a good time in this video, and I'll do this in a face-to-face class as well, ask you to pick a grade goal in this class. What transcript letter would you like to see on your transcript by mid-December or end of December? Is it going to be an A, B, or a C? Whichever performance level you pick will help you to identify any changes that you might have to do during the semester. So there are minimum requirements for lecture and lab grade that is described here. You are asked to maintain a minimum of 65% performance in lecture and lab grade to avoid failing. Now, why do we treat this lecture and lab grade separately? When you come to the first lab, I'll have a little demonstration there. For lecture grades, the questions will be multiple choice, true or false, matching nature. But for questions on graded assignments for a lab grade will be fill in the blank type. So to earn a really good lab grade, you need to be able to recall terms, names from your own memory banks. There will be nothing on the paper in front of you. So this is a different kind of skill, and the college leadership in their great wisdom decided that this needs to be followed and graded separately. So what are the smaller items that contribute to lecture grade? You see down here, lecture exams and lecture quizzes that you'll be taking online. The exams are 100-question exams. The lecture quizzes are 15-question quizzes. Both the exams and the quizzes are timed. The lecture quizzes will come to you through an entry point in your class shell. Lecture exams we'll do face-to-face on paper. You'll be filling out a Scantron sheet to complete your lecture exam. The comprehensive final also counts towards your lecture grade. For lab grade, where you need to answer fill-in-the-blank type of questions, or lab quizzes, these are face-to-face 10-question quizzes. The lab reports, this is probably the easiest part. Just by participating in lab activities and filling out a lab report, you will be earning these points. And then the biggest lab grade contributors are lab practicals. These are 100-question lab exams, all the fill-in-the-blank type answer mode. So this is how your grading comes together. And again, the complication comes from these 3 layers here. You will be seeing your grade book. And as the semester goes on, I think this will be a lot more clear. Below here on page 5, you see the description of the format of exams, lecture quizzes, in-lab face-to-face quizzes, and the comprehensive final. So I also want to say a few words about extra credit opportunities. For each lecture exam and for each lab practical, you can earn 6 extra credit points. Now, the way you earn this, I'm going to explain here for the lecture exams. When you come to your first lab, I'll talk a little bit about lab extra credits. They are earned in a different way. So to earn extra credits for lecture exams, you need to, in your hand, fill in chapter review sheets. And the time to turn in these chapter review sheets are at the beginning of each lecture exam. I might ask you to hold on to your chapter review sheet. Sometimes it's easier when you turn it in once the exam is done. Nonetheless, the day of the lecture exam is the due date for those chapter review sheets. And to explain what exactly these extra credit opportunities are here for the chapter review sheets like, let's go and take a look at this. And we're going to scroll down here. In all your shells, you should see this. So here's extra credit material for lecture exam. So here's review sheets for lecture exam 1. And let's take a look at the first, maybe before I move on here. So the time of first lecture exam, if you bring in a completed chapter 3, 2, and 1 review sheets, you will earn 6 extra credit points. If you bring only chapter 2 sheets completed, you will earn 2 extra credit points. So it's proportional. And what's the nature of these review questions? Here is the, oops, let me scroll here. So in your handwriting, you're asked to complete these blank spaces. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. If you have any time, any questions about the nature of questions on chapter review sheets, please let me know. Most important thing to hear here that this goes for completion. I'm not going to grade this. You won't see a single red line when I return this to you. It goes for completion. So that's the most important aspect. Don't leave any of these blank lines unfilled, unanswered. So this is for chapter 1. And again, this review sheet together with chapter 2 and chapter 3 review sheets will be due at the time of first lecture exam. Another important point here, this is optional. You don't have to do that. In every semester, there are many students who don't do these extra credit sheets. They're still passing the class. So completion of this extra credit is not actually needed. It will increase your points. So if you have time for it, fits your study style, not a bad idea to think about these review sheets. And as you see, we have these for lecture exam 2, 3, and 4. And so the system is identical for all those. I want to share with you the last thing here in this recording is one aspect of lecture exams that will be repeated for all 4. And this is the set of questions called word bites. So let's take the mystery out of that. You'll see 20 questions out of 100 represented by the word bites. And to study those, to review those, you come to here. So let's take a look at what word bites might show up in the form of a question for lecture exam 1. And this is, I'm not sure what happened there. Let's take a look at lecture exam 2 word bites. Well, I need to check out that file there, but here's the nature of the word bites. So the word bite itself is a Latin or Greek word root that we use fairly commonly during lecture and lab, discussing anatomy and physiology. And on that lecture exam, you will have to match a word bite with a meaning. The examples are just there for illustration. So on a graded assignment, 20 questions on each lecture exam will be coming from matching a word bite to its meaning. So this is a student favorite, relatively easy to remember, and it is organically connected to the topics that we're discussing for each lecture exam material. So that's all I wanted to say about grading. And again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Let me stop sharing here. Excuse me. So if you have any questions, you're welcome to message me or ask anytime during face-to-face lecture, lab time. So I'm going to close this recording here, and I hope to see you all next week at the first lecture time.